And then that's the reason why you can't make chocolate chip cookies using strawberries.
But you can in Korea. You didn't know that?
Maybe for next time. Let me know.
By the way, we have people visiting.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream.
Yes, and everybody's on time and everybody's early, actually. Those who were in the chat already.
I was checking the chat before I came here, and I saw there were already dozens of people waiting for it to start.
네.
So yes, welcome.
Welcome. 어서 오세요. 빌리 선생님하고 이렇게 또 라이브 수업 또는 라이브 챗 하게 됐는데요. 오늘 수업은 아니고 this is not a class.
Not really, but we might talk about learning stuff if people ask us questions.
Yeah, I just let him talk and you will learn. Right?
I don't know about that.
By the way, where do we look? Is it over here?
Yeah, this is the camera right here.
Okay, there. I was looking at the webcam.
Oh, okay. Well, you can look at the webcam.
Yeah. No. I don't want to be looking at the webcam when we have the 4K camera over there. 네.
Very nice.
그래서 네, 일단 잘 오셨고요. 오늘 재미있게 같이 이야기 나누고 또 빌리 선생님하고 저도 이야기할 수 있는 시간이 될 것 같아요. We actually filmed a video, two videos before this live stream. Not today.
Not today. Okay. That's right. Yes.
A couple of weeks ago.
A few weeks ago, I went here and we filmed 2 videos together.
Exactly.
One on the Talk to Me in Korean channel, which will be going up soon, and another one which will be on my channel, which will go up once I get back in the US to edit it.
Right. And when we filmed those videos, we didn't know that we would be doing another live stream even before those videos go out.
Right.
So it'll be like the order is flipped, but we do have 2 videos coming out soon. By the way, if you don't know Billy, if you're watching, just talk to me in Korean.
You're like, who is this non-Korean guy on the Korean teaching channel?
So Billy runs this really, really great YouTube channel called Learn Korean with
Go Billy Korean.
Billy.
Yes.
Okay, Go Billy Korean.
It's very exact. Yes, it's Go Billy Korean, and I've been teaching Korean there since 2012. So about 3 years after Talk to Me in Korean, these guys all started their channel, and I do like lots of different content as well. It's a little different than you'll get from Talk to Me in Korean because I am obviously a non-native Korean speaker, but yeah, it's pretty fun. You should check me out too.
Yeah, if you want something just totally serious and boring and
that's what your channel is for. you're too slow. It was too slow.
Are you serious?
Yeah. No.
We're 23 people versus 1. Who will win in a fight? So you need to behave.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so if you want to watch something a little different from what we do here on this channel, you can definitely check out Billy's channel. We actually created a whole course together.
Yes.
We also made a book together.
Yeah, the course kind of goes with the book, although there are some extra lessons in the video series that aren't in the book. Common mistakes Korean learners make. I think it's fairly popular. I've heard a lot of people tell me that they really like the series that we did together.
Yes.
We have to make another. We have to do some other collaboration like that sometime.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this time you are going back soon to the States.
This was a short trip.
언제 가죠?
다다음 주요.
다다음 주.
네.
다다음 주에 가고 나면 다음번에 다시 왔을 때 그때 뭐 만들면 좋겠네요.
11월에 오려고 지금 생각하고 있어요.
11월에.
네.
You know, 12월 is my birthday.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't ask, but that's interesting.
Okay.
So if I go then can I attend your birthday party?
Yes, I didn't think of that. I was just thinking about the 선물 aspect of
it. Okay. So I have to bring a present.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of present does the face of Talk to Me in Korean even want? Is there anything that you want for a present?
I want friends.
You want friends? So that's why I'm here. I feel sorry. So I'm just.
Yeah, I have a huge lack of those these days.
Well, you have right now, how many people are in the chat? Like 200 something? It's like a few hundred friends are here for you today. So
yeah, I mean, Talk to Me in Korean viewers, Talks are all my friends. But unfortunately, it's a different kind of friendship.
Right.
So I want more friends in my real life, my
people that you
life.
can actually see and meet.
And maybe exercise with. So anyway, Okay, so everyone, let's greet some people in the comments.
Yes.
Okay, we are already getting a lot of questions. This is a live Korean Q&A session, so feel free to answer questions.
Feel free to answer questions, yes.
Ask questions.
We'll just sit back here.
I didn't sleep last night. I told you why, right?
Yeah.
Can you briefly introduce?
Yeah. Okay.
what
Well, so
happened?
Hyunwoo had a bit of a situation with
Yeah.
his. He's doing some minor home renovations, and apparently there was a problem in the bedroom with the ceiling. So he had a light installed by the contractor, and the contractor didn't know how to install things properly into the ceiling. So. You know, drywall is not the best surface to install a ceiling fixture into.
Yeah, so the conclusion is my wife and I spent like 30 minutes taping this ceiling light back to the ceiling.
I can imagine him and his wife standing on the bed, like balancing with like a roll of tape, and it's like pitch black outside. He's like,
새벽 1시.
honey, we got to get this up and go back to sleep.
At 1 a.m. trying not to wake up the kids.
Yeah.
Anyway. So that was my night. 그래서 지금 안녕하세요가 굉장히 많고요. 일단 우리가 좀 읽어드릴 수 있는 이름들을 쭉 읽어볼게요. 밑에서부터 가겠습니다. 한 명씩. Everyday Seb Vlog. For Ashley, she. I think it's Ashley.
Ashley, okay, that makes sense.
빨리.
Don Vittorio Villasin.
네, 그다음에 PUBG fan, Stuti Car Makar.
Let me try to do this really fast. Leah Sandoval, Jimena Nazrin, Lexi and Jasmine Bree, Alishka, Richen 17, Anissa Segita, Talita Utomo.
Nobody's gonna recognize
we're not
names.
gonna.
But thank you for coming.
Everyone, I know we don't have time to just read names here, but yes, thank you all of you for coming.
네, 좋아요. 그러면 질문을 계속 올려주시고 no repeat questions. We will try to get to your question. Okay, Leah, you recognize
my name.
In time. 네, 그러면 하나씩 보겠습니다. 이렇게 이제 눈에 띄는 코멘트가 있으면 이렇게 보여드릴 거예요. Like on Billy's face, like this.
Right. Yes. I'm a criminal now. Did you saw the movie Parasite, right?
Yeah.
기생충.
So, Alexi and Jasmine says your videos helped me so much. Thank you. Thank you for watching our videos.
They're actually talking about me, I think.
Please specify who is you in the comments. Everything positive, everything negative. Okay.
Unless you specify, so you have to let us know.
I would love to joke about your name like Billy, but then there might be other Billys, so I will stop myself.
Yeah, Billy's a pretty common name, I think.
Yeah, Hyunwoo is a common name these days.
I guess so, but you're the only Hyunwoo that I personally know.
Yeah, Hyunwoo in my age group or my generation, it was not common.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Recently, a few more people are getting named that.
Do you know who that's after?
No, I don't.
Isn't it obvious? Like
I'm sure it's all named after you. Well, then why aren't there more Billys being? I don't get it.
It's not a Korean name.
Your first name Billy, last name Korean. Then
What?
First.
Okay, so yeah, Hyunwoo was a rare name when my father came up with this idea. So it was a unique, original idea that he, found, himself when he made the name for me. But now it's very common. I see a bunch of kids named,
yes.
Hyunwoo. So
little kids and then a big kid.
Oh yes. What's today's topic? Sungwon Iris says. What's today's topic?
Today's topic is a Q&A. So we're going to be taking questions. You can see we got our first one right here, but we're going to be getting more. And you can ask anything that you're curious about. It doesn't have to be a Korean language question, but it can be.
Yes.
And we're going to be...
Don't worry,
it's okay. I can move down this chair. I think it adjusts.
I'll scroll down like this. How many words are there to mean to be embarrassed?
Embarrassed. There's a lot. The most common I think people learn first might be like 부끄럽다.
부끄럽다.
But that's not usually the one that I would use most of the time.
창피하다. People often say it as
창피.
창피하다. in colloquialism, so I will just say like this is what. Can I just
see? Yeah, call is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also just slang is fine too. So common speech you'll hear 창피하다.
창피하다, or let's say it's spoken.
Okay.
Yeah. 창피하다, 창피해요. Children, small children will often say 창피해요 instead of 창피해요. There are many words like that in Korean that are pronounced differently than in written form.
Right.
Embarrassed, you can also say 당황하다.
Or 당황, yeah.
당황스럽다.
Yeah, 스럽다 would also be used pretty common. And there's another one, I don't know, there's one I can think about that's not very polite, but I think a lot of people use it. I don't know if it's okay.
What is it?
쪽팔리다?
쪽팔리다.
Yeah. It's not the nicest word. It's a I would say more than slang, it's kind of like a little bit of harsh slang. It's not a swear though, but it is a little bit strong. So
strong, harsh.
You
slang.
do not want to say this to business friends or more formal in any sort of situation like that, or with strangers who you're not close with.
Yeah.
But with friends, it's very common to say this one. It's like a very embarrassed, like, oh, I feel like so like, oh.
Yeah. So my understanding, I don't say this often because I'm a very classy man.
Exactly.
But just because you mentioned it, 쪽팔리다's original meaning, the way I know it is, 쪽 is your face. So like 얼굴. 얼굴.
Okay.
When you say 얼굴이 팔렸어요, it means not in a good way, but everybody knows your face. So for example, you're in a news article for something, wrong that you did.
Okay, so kind of like ashamed.
Yeah, like a shameful situation that you were involved in. 그래서 얼굴이 팔렸어요. 동네에 얼굴이 팔렸어요. Like, oh, that Billy guy, he never washes his T-shirt.
Don't tell.
네, 그런 일이 있었을 때 쪽팔려요.
Just for example.
So everybody knows my face. I'm so embarrassed. So you can use it like that. You will often hear it in sitcoms, and dramas.
Yeah, you just kind of someone feels so embarrassed they just want to leave the room and I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I think if you're looking for just a general word for you feel embarrassed about something, maybe 창피하다 would be pretty common. Each of these, of course, is a little bit different in nuance. You can't just switch and use whichever one you want. I know like 당황하다 would also be different than like 창피하다 as well.
So there will be other translations, of course, but just know that there are many expressions and each expression is used for different kinds of situations. So just pay attention to what other people say. Okay.
Good question.
Yeah, good question. All right, let's look at some other questions. Okay. Oh.
What? I saw a question for you right there.
Yeah. Okay, let me highlight this and post
it's because it has you in it. So.
Yeah. Everything. Whenever you mention Billy, it's automatically filtered out.
He has a filter word on YouTube that blocks anything.
No.
Alternate spellings.
Okay.
William.
All right. I'll stop being mean. I'll be nice. So this morning for Korea, because it's 3 p.m. here, maybe the day changed for some of you, but this morning at 7 a.m. I was sitting right here to attend the Bangtan Academy on Discord, Bangtan Academy's stages.
Yes.
So many of you are from that session as well. Thank you for joining me twice.
Yes. Hello as well. I know some of those people over there.
So I mentioned, I got a question on how I started Talk to Me in Korean, and I said that I didn't really plan it all out in the beginning. It just happened naturally because I wanted to help people learn. So that's what Lil Alligator is talking about.
I can confirm that. I can definitely confirm you didn't have any grand plan when you started because I've been following his YouTube channel since the very beginning. And yeah, it was just regular for you had some lessons and talking with other people.
Yeah, I mean, we had plans, but the plans were all for the next 6 months or 3 months or
only short-term plans.
Short-term plans. We didn't know what was possible, but we learned along the way. Kyungwon and I and other co-workers, we learned along the way. And now the question is, now that it's become what it is, which is a website, a YouTube channel, a book
of
brand.
course, lots of books.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a vision of where you would like to see Talk to Me in Korean in the future? Very briefly, we want to surprise you with, Billy wants to also do the same thing. We want to surprise Talk to Me in Korean followers and maybe Billy, so I don't want to embarrass you with anything.
Oh, go ahead.
So
I don't want to embarrass you. Oh, sure.
no,
sure
I
you
mean,
do.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
Oh, okay.
But we want to surprise you in terms of what a language education brand can do and achieve. You know, because there are so many like expectations that are easy to predict. Okay, they must, continue to
more employees, more
or
books.
books.
Yeah.
But we want to do more. We want to really like change people's lives for the better. So, and I think we're doing that every day.
In a lot of ways, we're on the same page. We're doing different materials, but we kind of have similar things that we want for the Korean learning communities.
Yes. So, okay, here.
Oh,
So
there's perfect. Look at this question. Look,
it
it keeps going. There's a
trying to-
question for me, and every time he's like trying to highlight it, it's magically scrolling away.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
the
there we got it.
computerized program.
Yeah, sure. Computer. Blame it
Yeah.
on the computer.
So Billy,
Yes.
can we expect to have you as a guest soon on the Bangtan Academy?
Yeah, I was speaking with someone from there, one of the admins, and I would like to do that as soon as I'm back in the US. The reason is just time difference, and of course because I'm really lazy and I want to sleep in Korea. But when I go back to the US, yes, I will be planning to do another, well, not another, but I would like to do a guest appearance on the server.
Yeah. For those of you who are not familiar with the Bangtan Academy, it's a Discord server where you can study with lots of different types of Korean learning materials, including Talk to Me in Korean
Right.
and Billy's. And I think it's a wonderful place where you can find friends and find study buddies and get motivation.
Yeah, I've been there actually many times. I've searched through all the servers before, and yeah, a lot of people there are very devoted to helping others learning Korean, and it seems really structured, I would say, much more than a lot of other, regular online communities you might find. There's a lot of structure there.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, you picked another question already.
Yeah, when you were talking.
Okay, I was talking too long, and he's like,
No.
this is going on forever.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't talking long, you were talking, so I was just doing something. No, I really don't have any native friends with whom I can practice. What should I do? We can maybe answer this question briefly, but you can, of course, answer it. But Yeji, our own Yeji 선생님, prepared a lesson for you. It will be published soon on the Talk to Me in Korean channel.
Okay.
So it's going to be, I watched it, it's amazing.
So she has a video coming up soon about how you can find native Korean speakers.
No.
No, no.
Did you listen to me?
No, I usually don't
Maybe
listen.
I
did.
I need
So
to,
it's a
it's
lesson
about how to practice speaking without, like, because it's,
Oh, okay.
yeah, without native
Right.
speaker friends to talk to, because it's harder to change that situation than to change your study tactics.
That's true. And a lot of people live in areas where it's simply not feasible to find a native Korean you can practice with in person. Or maybe, maybe they don't have access to, using apps or something like that.
Yeah, and your answer, what is your answer?
For how to find friends?
Yeah.
I would say try to find groups of people who do things that you like to do. So if you really want to actually make friends, join a club. You can try to search for Korean communities that are people who like to do the same activity. Maybe you like doing gaming. We'll try to find if there might be a Discord or a community of people who also like playing that game or doing that activity. And then within there, try to find some friends. Either that or, of course, if you're a student, try to go to other language meetings that they have or functions like that.
Yeah, and online services, I think, like apps, language exchange partner, search apps are useful. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say as well. You might have to do a lot more work for finding friends online. I know I use some of those tools sometimes as well, but I might have to speak with, 100 people before I can find someone that I actually can have something in common with. So yeah, it does take a lot of work. It will take a lot of work on your own part to do that, but it's definitely possible.
And also, a lot of people have this idea of finding somebody that they can talk to on a daily basis or on a regular basis and magically improving. It just doesn't work like that in most situations. No. Even if you did have like 10 native Korean friends that you can talk to, you know, chances are they're going to be, you're busy, you're going to be busy.
Right.
It might be the next 30 days that you don't talk to each other. So it's also going to be tricky to practice speaking, even if you do have native speaker friends. So a lot of work going in is still the same. Like even if you do have friends, you need to put in a lot of effort to actively practice.
And just to add to that, just because you're practicing Korean with someone, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get fluent if you talk with them for a while.
Yeah.
Everyone speaks differently, and I know some people I could speak with fluently when I was still learning Korean because as like, you know, intermediate or beginner, because they spoke Korean very simply. And then when I tried to speak with someone else, they would speak much more, you know, much more complicated words. So yeah, everyone speaks differently, and you have to do a lot of work on your own to get that practice.
Yeah, the best case scenario is when you are learning in the first place. As you learn, if you can get the necessary speaking practice on the side, you know, on your own, like by yourself, that's the best. And as a plus, as a bonus, if you can sometimes talk to native speakers just to check. Don't expect to learn by speaking with native speakers.
It takes a lot of time to do that.
If you were to do that through italki sessions, you will be spending a lot of money.
Yeah, I can imagine if even if you did 10 hours of italki, that's equivalent to like 1 day of being in Korea or something, and much more expensive.
True. So 그리고 and 그렇고. So basically, what's the difference? I guess. 그리고 is a fixed conjunction. 그리고, like and.
Yes.
And 그렇고, it's very similar.
Well, like in English, you could say it's similar, but functionally though, it's completely different.
Yeah, but you can't start a sentence with 그렇고.
Yeah.
Maybe some people do.
It might make sense in some situations, but it's not what you want.
Yeah, only in reference to what was said like right before. So 그렇고, like that's that.
And
then so 그렇고 is always kind of in the middle. 그건 그렇고. That's that. 그건 그렇고.
Yeah, you can kind of think of 그렇고 as maybe in your head imagining that you're saying, oh, 그래요, 그리고, that is something, and, but it's a different function how it works from simply saying 그리고, and.
Yeah, 그리고 originally does come from.
It's going to be, I think, the same thing a long time ago.
그렇다 or 그러하다, like to be like that.
Yeah, or 그리하다, I guess, but
But, Love Chic says, I love your chemistry. Oh.
Really?
You like 화학?
I was going to say, I'm not a big fan of chemistry. I think I did really bad in my biology class too.
Yeah. Sorry about this. Usually when when there are two people, one person starts a dad joke, the other person has to stop them.
But in this case,
we're
both dads.
Eager to.
Yeah.
What's your favorite school subject?
Favorite school subject?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. I'm thinking about it. Do you have a favorite school subject that you liked? I liked English. Okay, that came to mind. I really enjoyed English class. I liked writing essays.
I didn't like English.
Oh.
I liked studying English, but not the school subject English. I would say physics. Yeah.
Physics, okay.
But thank you. We have
physics. Wow. Well, that's why my English is so good, right? Because I enjoy English class. I speak really well, don't I? My English, it's like a native. It's almost like a native.
Almost.
Yeah.
You're just almost.
But it's really good. Yeah.
Okay. What's your native language? All right.
日本語です。
あ、そうですか。いきなり日本語で。でここで
日本語を使いましょうか。
大変です。韓国語じゃないと英語で話してください。
はい、わかりました。
Okay. All right. So, wow, that was the first time I spoke Japanese in.
Oh, really? Yeah. I don't think I really ever use it anymore.
It's still in there.
It's in the back somewhere.
Yeah.
But it doesn't want to come out.
Okay, wow, lots of really specific questions.
Yeah. Let's get
here. Okay.
oh another question for me. Let's see. Okay. Hi Billy, I didn't forget about you. LOL. I'm curious about what encouraged you to keep going with your studies when you encounter struggles. You're an inspiration. Can't wait to see you on BA soon. Oh, thanks. Nice question. I think just because like a lot of people who end up learning how to speak Korean and maybe English as well, is that you just really want to in the first place. You feel like I really want to learn this language. So when you have struggles and when there's things that kind of are, you know, hurdles you have to get over, you don't see them as boundaries, you see them as like, oh, I have to do this anyway. Like, I want to get there, and this is blocking me. I have to figure out how to get over it somehow. So you kind of just keep pushing until you get there.
Yeah.
But then, of course, when there are times that you do feel like you know, oh, what am I doing? This isn't working so well. Then those times you kind of just rethink, like remember why you're trying to learn the language, try to, you know, motivate yourself again. Like, oh, I really want to learn because, and then that kind of helps you get through those days when you don't feel like it.
Yeah, I guess with Korean it's a little harder in that sense because it's not like other more traditionally globally spoken languages.
You don't need Korean to live in the US.
Nobody's breathing down your neck
No.
to, hey, you know, to tell you, hey, study, or there are no like major tests coming. I mean, unless you're majoring in Korean,
Right.
and unless you're studying it like academically or to be professional in this field, nobody is like helping you stay disciplined. So you have, it's on your own. Like you have to do it. So that's the tough part. So I think as you are many of you, as you are learning Korean or learning how to learn Korean, you are also figuring out how to learn just anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you learn Korean or you learn a language and you get better at doing that thing, and then the next time you kind of figure out the way that you learn best, and that helps you learn better.
Yeah.
But yeah.
True. That's why I also need to learn how to make friends. Like I have to.
I'll be your friend.
We super chat. But
That needs reaction right now.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we got a super chat here.
No,
look at this. Check this out, guys.
We saw you guys. Okay.
Yeah, I did see it. Okay. Madame de
Tourelle.
Tourelle.
Yeah. Thank you. I know your name. I know your username. This person, she.
Oh, you know her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Regularly joined our live streams
I see.
before.
Nice.
And regularly donated.
Cool.
Some super chats. So thank you. Thank you for doing this live. Unfortunately, I already have to go. Have a nice time, everyone. Stay safe. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat. So what do we do about super chats? Like, how do we split this?
No. This is you.
Okay.
Yeah, this is all you.
Correct answer.
Yes.
Okay.
What am I gonna do? I'm like, you owe me like $6. Like, whoa. No. This is Talk to Me in Korean's channel. Later, you'll come to LA and you'll be in my video on my live, right? And we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'll get it at that time.
You're gonna fly me over to LA in first class just so you can get the super chat donations?
It's not gonna be first class, economy, but yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I think there's like a boat too that comes from China. Like takes like 2 months. It'll be an adventure. It'll be
Okay. I think the only other option is business.
Business.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have my accountant will contact your accountant.
All right. I'm fine with business.
We'll work on it. Okay.
Okay. Ada Lau, thank you for this sweet comment.
You two together.
Yeah, totally loving
both of your channels.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like both of our channels too.
I like our channel. Okay.
That's a good question.
Amma, please explain the usage of this Korean grammar pattern. 나요, 가요.
Like 하나요 or 한가요.
오늘 바쁜가요? 바쁜가요? 바쁘신가요?
You want me to answer? You
Yeah.
아니요, 안 바빠요.
It's a question.
안 바빠요.
Okay.
오늘 피곤하시나요?
피곤하신가요?
하신가요?
누구 때문에 피곤해요?
Yeah.
누구 때문에?
It's gonna be the contractor.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, okay. I almost forgot about that person. But anyway, so this is a nice way to ask a question.
오늘 뭐 하시나요?
뭐 하시나요? 오늘 어디 가시나요? Something like that. So you could be asking all these questions in the plain form.
Yeah.
오늘 바빠요? 바쁘세요? 오늘 뭐 하세요? That's fine too. But 인가요? 나요? You are kind of making the question a little lighter. Yeah, like
Hey,
lifting some weight.
Hey, busy today?
So it's kind of like I wonder if you are so and so.
And then if they're wondering about conjugation, you probably have a lesson on that in on your website because there's different conjugation rules typically for depending on the verb it is, and sometimes when you can use either. But generally, though, they both work the same way in that the meaning of them is the same.
The meaning is the same. Try using either one of them and see if it works, and then if it doesn't, you can use the other next time. And so, 인가요? What's interesting is the other plain form for questions like 오늘 바빠요. You cannot just drop 요 at the end and make it self-talk like 혼잣말. You can't talk to yourself like that. 오늘 바빠? You can't do that. But with this, because you are already asking yourself,
It shows like you're more curious.
yeah. So you can say 오늘 빌리 오나? Is Billy coming today? Like,
Right,
yeah.
right. Oh,
오늘,
was Billy coming today? That sort of thing. Yeah.
빌리는 오늘도 이상한가? Something like that. Yeah.
현우 씨 오늘도 아재 개그를 할 건가?
Yeah. You used the. I was avoiding the future tense, but you used.
Oh, okay, yeah. It can be used in future or past or present or whatever. But yeah.
Okay. 다음으로 넘어가 보겠습니다. 네. Thank you so much. 레와, I missed 현우 쌤's humor. Haha, thank you.
I still miss it. Where is Hyunwoo Sam's humor?
Here, in your face. Maybe you can't see it because it's in your face.
I can't see. I'm just looking at the screen right here. I can't see it.
All right, maybe I should just move this. Okay, I'm able to do this.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Like, just focus on the important aspect, important part. Yeah, your one hand is enough. Wait, how do we undo this?
How do we? No, now we just have to sit really uncomfortably close together.
No, you don't have to. Okay. Hello, black screen, black space. Sorry, technical difficulty.
It's all messed up.
Messed up. All right.
That's good.
Is it?
I guess so.
You know what? I guess.
You can actually right-click, and there's a transform, and then you can click reset.
Okay.
On the video stream.
All right.
Yeah.
Reset.
I'm not sure what the one it actually is. Not filtering.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's
good enough. Yeah.
So technical difficulty caused by my curiosity.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm sure
this one's
everybody
Hyunwoo's fault.
enjoyed it. So yeah, my humor. The location of my humor is right here. 양지혜님. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like this. What is the difference between the na ending and the ni ending? So they might look similar, but they're totally different. So ni is, what is it?
Well, it's going to be, I guess, which aspect of it do you want to talk about?
Like talking to a child.
At the most basic, yeah, it's very, very casual sounding. Whereas the na ending, we just talked about that. That kind of shows a little bit more curiosity to know something. And the ni ending is kind of like you're either talking down to someone or you're like jokingly talking down to someone.
Yeah. Kyungwon, she's a friend of mine. You know her, right?
Of course.
Yeah, you need to say you know her.
Yeah, of course I know her.
So we're the same age. She's technically 3 months older. Older.
So then she is older than you.
Yeah. But so she often says 뭐하니? Whenever I'm like being myself.
So pretty much multiple times every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Like 7, 8 times a day on
Oh,
average.
you count them. Okay.
Yeah. how many times I'm hurt. So 뭐하니? So just all the joking aside, 뭐하니 is like you can say that the reason I'm saying this is because you can say that to somebody of the same age. It doesn't have to be to only small children. Like so I can be in this dad mode and talking to my children, and I can say 오늘 뭐 먹고 싶니? Like that, you know.
But you can also say it, as you're saying, to people who are the same age as you as well.
Yeah.
But just to finish answering the question, it's not a dialect thing like no. That would be like the Busan 사투리 or something
네가
like
너,
that.
yeah, no. Okay. Which question do you want to?
I was thinking, my head right now is still filled with Busan dialect, actually. Yesterday, I met one of my friends who I knew, the last time I met her was 2006, when I used to live in Busan. So I met her yesterday, and we talked all day from like 12 until 7, and she speaks very fast and very thick Busan dialect. So in my head is her intonation just only going through. That's all I heard yesterday. So I'm trying to flush it out again and go back to my regular speaking. When you said, what you said like, 뭐하노 or 어디가노 or something, and I'm like, oh, that's what I heard all day yesterday.
It's very rhythmic.
Yeah, and it's very distinct. So you hear it and you know, oh, that person is from the south part of Korea.
Yes.
Nice.
Another super chat. Abigail Claire Guadagna. Thank you so much. The message says 쌤들 위한 한 잔씩 항상 응원하고 있을게요. This itself is a good lesson material.
Yes.
So
They're teaching many things in here.
all right. So let me
Let's highlight that.
highlight that. Import it here. So 쌤들. Sorry, Billy.
It's okay. I can lie down here.
I need
here
to
on the table.
press a lot of enters. Okay. 쌤 선생님 for short is 쌤. 쌤들 teachers.
Right. Plural.
위한 for.
For.
네. is
Ice. Well, iced coffee basically. Ice Americano.
ice americano. So in Korean, in the Koreanized English word system, we don't say iced. We say ice, just ice.
Yeah.
So ice americano.
There's a few other ones that are commonly used, like Like I'm aware also, I don't order coffee, but I'm also aware of da'a, so like
따아.
warm, or I guess hot Americano. I'm trying to think what else there is. There's actually a lot of ones.
아바라.
Abhara.
What's 아바라?
What's that?
아바라.
Ice black
바.
pa.
Yeah, 바. How does black become
I was
바?
thinking B. Well, I don't know why I was thinking
No.
B in English. I was thinking why ABR popped in my head. I was like,
아바라.
I'm not sure. Is it a coffee thing? Latte?
What? Okay.
I'm gonna guess
what
latte.
ingredient do you put in a latte sometimes
I actually don't. I don't know. I don't drink coffee.
to make it sweet? It starts with V.
Vanilla.
Yes.
Ice vanilla latte.
Yeah. So there are many words like that, and you
I
can.
don't drink coffee. I don't know.
So thank you.
These young kids using these slang words these days.
I'm actually not offended by it.
It's going over my head.
Young kids.
Kids these days.
Yeah, I told you. 백신 맞았을 때,
Yeah.
you know how the younger you are, the more you suffer sometimes. Like the general trend is like your body.
Your immune system's really active.
Yeah. So when I got my first dose of the coronavirus vaccine 5 weeks ago, I think, I was anticipating a fever, like a lot of body aches the
Right.
next morning, and voila, like
You're totally fine.
I wake up at 5 o'clock, comes to office at 6 o'clock, work the whole day. I'm okay. So yeah. So I'm glad that I'm referred
so
to
now
as
you
a
feel-
young kid who knows slangs.
Now you felt old after that.
Yeah.
Is that you're trying to say, oh, after I got the vaccine, now I feel like I'm old.
Yeah, because I was totally fine. I should have been glad I was also.
And it's a good thing. If you,
yeah. So 항상 응원하고 있을게요. It's like a cute ending. I will always be rooting for you guys. And 양지혜, when we read 양지혜님's comment, you were laughing a little bit. You were not laughing about the name, so just to avoid misunderstanding.
Right, no.
Yeah. So it was about the comments.
Yes.
So,
Cute comment.
yeah. Okay.
Let's see, what other comment should we pick? I want to pick one. You picked all of them, Hyunwoo. You know, I want to pick one too.
네, 고르세요.
Okay, let me pick one. Go down.
그다음.
So I gotta find something about me. Okay, Billy, how does it feel to talk next to a teacher? Oh,
It's all about
it's all about you. Okay, let's find a different one. Please, let me think.
거든요. Okay.
Jeremy and June in the same room, which language would they say? Oh, that's a good question. We actually, this is not the question we're picking, but Arlie gave a small donation. Hey, Arlie. You asked if Jeremy and June are in the same room, which language? Jeremy speaks right now both Korean and English still. We're really pushing that hard. He would speak probably whatever language the other kid speaks. So if the other kid starts off speaking English, then Jeremy would go into English. And if the other kid speaks Korean, he wouldn't hesitate and he would use Korean as well.
Yeah, I think June will be the same. He will follow
So
along.
whoever has to talk first gets
Yeah,
to pick the language.
But I think in Korea, I think June mostly speaks Korean, and I think when somebody if Jeremy is Billy's son,
yeah.
Jeremy visits.
He's 5.
So when you guys came over to our place
Right.
with Jeremy, he was still very
That was
aerial.
3 years ago.
Yeah,
I think,
he
yeah.
was really young.
Yeah.
He wasn't talking much.
He was starting to talk, but
Yeah.
he couldn't make many
So-
full sentences.
Yeah, so if they were to meet again today, I think June would just assume that Jeremy speaks Korean because it's in Korea. But
Right.
if we were to visit you guys in
Then he would definitely
LA,
want to speak English. Yeah.
So
We did a video also about that where we talked about like how we're raising our kids to be bilingual. And I wanted to do an update after maybe another year or so with how things went, you know, judging based on what did we do and then what stuff ended up working really well for people, because a lot of people are out there wondering, you know, how can I get my kid to speak Korean and stuff like that. So we talked about that in the video.
Yep, and one thing, wow, this is strong.
What is that?
Powerful.
Billy's smile it's not my smile. People might say it's actually my dimple. This is very powerful. I heard when I was in high school, they're like, oh, that dimple.
I should go and
You got it. You
buy a
gotta get
dimple.
surgery. Yeah, get surgery to add it.
수술 그런 거 있죠?
있어요.
있어요.
네.
맞아요. 그래서 okay. So
And then we got another question.
yeah, I mean,
also
I
before
wanted to add that even when you raise your kids bilingually, it's not going to be completely, it's not going to make your child completely bilingual.
Nope.
They have to do a lot of work on their own, like in the future. They have to read a lot, they have to study a lot. So you're just basically building the foundation, removing the hesitation or preventing the hesitation
Right.
or misunderstanding, prejudices, biases, that's all you're doing. You're just keeping the children open-minded. All the brain work, they still have to do it.
Yeah, beyond a certain age, it's going to be up to the kid to decide, which languages do they want to use and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
let's see. And then someone asked, please explain the use of 거든요
Yeah.
suffix.
Yeah, I'm just picking some questions
Okay.
here and there in advance.
You're just trying to cover me up. That's the real thing. So people will stop saying good things about me because they can't see me anymore.
Okay, because you say that. I'll cover myself.
No, that's not what I meant. No, I'm not.
No,
I'm not mean like that.
Yeah, I'll be nice.
I'll be nice and then deletes me from the video.
So you can hear him fine, right?
Yeah. I'll be here. I'll be right here. I'm just gonna stand up right behind him.
Okay. Sit down, please. So 거든요. I have to talk like this.
Yeah.
거든요, please go ahead.
Yeah, 거든요 has actually a few uses, but mainly you'll hear it used to kind of inform someone else about something that you think they might not be aware of. Like, hey, just 저 한국말도 하거든요. If someone's like speaking to you in English and you really want to, and you know that their Korean would be better, it would be better for you to use Korean in the situation. You'd be like, hey, I speak Korean too, or maybe your friend's gonna treat you. 저도 돈도 있거든요. You might say, hey, I got money too.
Yeah.
If someone, maybe not a friend, but someone's trying to treat you, and you want to jokingly say, hey, just you know. So it's kind of like that, for your information, or hey, just or by the way, that sort of usage.
Yeah.
When
you want to make your point emphasize, we can do this, and then let everything be like this.
Ah, you could do that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. It's like a magazine cover.
Like
뭔가 잡지에 나올 것 같잖아요.
5 out of 5.
Yeah. Volume 3. Like
top 10 sexiest Korean teachers. And then I don't know why we're on the cover though. It'd be like, and then these two guys who can actually teach Korean.
And the title of the magazine is like Delusion.
Delusions from Korea. Yeah.
September issue.
And some reason we're on every cover. It's like they just keep putting us there.
Yeah. 그리고 can both of you speak in Korean?
저번에 같이 했잖아요. 저번에 여기 영상을 같이 찍었는데. 근데 그게 처음이어가지고 굉장히 뭐랄까 긴장했어요. 제가.
아 그래요?
예.
편집 잘했거든요.
아 그래요? 다행이에요.
네. Don't worry.
Okay. Because we filmed a video last time I was here, and it was my first time ever having a conversation with Hyunwoo in Korean. And you all know this by watching Talk to Me in Korean, but Hyunwoo's English is very good. It's not bad. It's the level. It's such a level that I feel uncomfortable speaking in Korean with him because I feel like we could get so much more done speaking in English. So usually though I don't feel that with most Koreans. I feel like if I speak Korean things will go more smoothly. But some people are different. If someone's lived in the US for a long time, then it feels much more comfortable to speak in English. So Hyunwoo's like that.
Yeah, I mean I don't want to insist on English.
Yeah.
I don't do that. Korean is easier for me. 한국어가 더 쉽죠. 훨씬 더.
I don't believe that.
진짜로.
I think I think your brain is always in English.
아니에요. 진짜 한국어가 훨씬 쉽고 I don't have to think as much in Korean. So it's much easier, less effort.
저도 마찬가지예요. 영어가 훨씬 편해요.
네, 그래서 그러면 이제 저는 계속 한국어로 하고.
That's actually what I do with my wife. Is because if we're arguing, we'll both speak the other's language. But if we're just talking normally, then it's most convenient for she speaks Korean, I just speak English for basic things, and it's a lot more comfortable that way.
So we filmed the video entirely in Korean.
Yes.
We filmed it for like 18 minutes or so.
It was pretty short, yeah.
Yeah, and 18 minutes is short in your standards.
For my standards, that's very short. I might film for an hour and then edit out just the best parts because I want it to be like, it's informational video.
Yeah.
But we filmed for about 10, 15, 20 minutes. I don't know. Sometimes around there.
Something like that. And the video will be 9 minutes, just me talking.
That's longer than I thought. Yeah, just him talking.
So it'll be out on our Talk to Me in 100% Korean channel, our other channel, where we only post videos where we are only talking in Korean. 한국어로만 되어 있는 영상들을 올리는 채널이 있어요. So
it's a really cool channel if you're not subscribed to it already. It's the channel where I make sure to watch all the videos on it because it's hard to find content that's directed at Korean learners that's in Korean but that's easily digestible and it's not just like random people talking or something. The content's made for Korean learners. Yeah. So all like Korean contents like podcasts and it's really good. I like it as well.
Thank you. We plan to make more materials with learners in mind, so more listening, more reading, more speaking related materials for Korean learners because you can of course learn a lot from those variety shows, Running Man, what else? 유재석 show.
That's all I could think of, Running Man.
Or BTS show, 달려라 방탄. You can learn a lot, but at the same time, those shows are not made with learners in mind. So
they don't assume that anyone learning Korean is watching them. So
they know that, but they didn't make it with that in mind. So they speak really fast, and
they might make grammar mistakes or something, but it's okay because it's not targeted at learners.
Yep, and okay.
That's an interesting question.
So
I don't know the answer to that though.
That video that we just
Yeah.
mentioned will be out next week.
Okay.
다음 주에 올라올 거예요. 그리고 지금 질문을 제가 2개 골랐는데
Yeah.
제가 마음대로 골랐어요. 일단 첫 번째, just curious, why does 우 in names sound and spell like woo instead of 우? This is romanization is not perfect. The Korean romanization system is not perfect because Korean consonants and vowels equally are difficult to be like
You can't
put into the
you can't write. You can't correlate anything with English.
So when you write like not here, over here.
Yeah.
When you write o like this, some people will read it as
Oh.
o, and if you write it like that, some
Then
people write it
you
or o.
Yeah.
So maybe like so in that's the standard romanization that the Korean government picked for various reasons. Now, so when you see,
It's gonna be woo.
yeah,
So it's
it's not good, but
it's the lesser of two evils.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
a little bit better to say woo than to say ooh or
Yeah.
something like that.
어쩔 수 없이. So whenever you see someone, because my name is Hyunwoo in Korean and 선현우, like before in the older romanization system that the Korean government used to have, it would have been
Right.
something like that. 선현우, and every Korean person would be able to read this because they're so used to it. They're so used to seeing the brand names, the store names, like written in romanization in various forms, and everybody will be able to read this. But now the official form is like that, and the company Hyundai
Yeah.
having that Hyun definitely helps me
Yeah.
because now everybody
Everyone knows
Hyun.
Well, yeah, people say it Hyundai,
Yeah, but still, yeah.
yeah, and then you'll still see people who have their names spelled in English sometimes with a different system, or maybe they just make up their own system that they want. Like I just want to write it like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, names are a tricky thing to romanize, especially.
True. And even if somebody were to make up their own way to spell it, the passport
It's
will
supposed to
actually-
officially have a certain spelling on it.
yeah, standardized spelling. So the next one is, what is the equivalent of shouting in caps in Korean?
That's a good question. You can express anger a lot of ways.
No, I mean,
But if
in
you're
writing,
talking, in writing,
I can think of only one thing.
I can think of a couple small things to do.
Like, Billy, what can I say something? How can I say something
What are you doing?
nice and mean at the same
Nice
time?
and mean at the same time. Why do you always wear the same cool clothes every day? Why is Billy so smart? Yeah, that's not an insult. That's not mean. Or unless you mean it sarcastically. Why is Billy so smart? Like that.
Or more, more accusative tone. How about what do you mean? Something like that.
Do you know how to use caps? There's a caps lock on.
Really? So in that case,
Holding the shift key.
in Korean, 무슨 말이야? Like that.
Okay, that's the only thing I can think of would just be, swearing or adding more exclamation marks or adding more like extending of a sound, like yeah or something like that. Because in caps in English it can mean several things. You can do caps for just talking loud. It doesn't have to be you're angry or something. Just you're talking loud or something, or you want to emphasize something. But in Korean, you would just have to express that through what it is that you're saying. So, drop your formalities, add an extra exclamation marks like you're yelling it. So you'd have to pick exactly which emotion you want to convey, and then you can do that through writing, I would say. But you're not going to find, like in English sometimes things will be written in caps without any specific meaning, just to look different. I know there's like a book I read once. I don't read very many books, but there was a book I read once, and one of the characters spoke with caps in the book. I think it was like a computer, and just to look different. But it wasn't yelling; it was just like to show it was like a computer.
Yep, there are a few, like speaking of this topic, there are a few things that you might want to pay attention to and notice. Like in Korean, we use this all the time.
To extend a sound,
Is
yeah.
it the tilde?
Yeah, tilde.
Yeah. So the 물결 표시.
Yeah. The wave sign.
Yeah, 물결 표시, like that. And people use this a lot, and this is not used in English almost at all.
I use it in English.
Really?
But I use it for my own style when I write English.
Was it influenced by Korean?
Yes, it was. It was influenced by Korean and Japanese.
Okay.
So that's why I use it.
Yeah.
But it's not commonly used.
Like, so let's say something in 반말, casual language. 알았어.
알았어. Okay, let's do that.
Okay, 알았어. And this is, so let's say that we're using our phone to text someone.
Okay.
알았어. Imagine the
Yeah, just imagine. So I'm
text
texting
bubbles,
right
okay?
now.
알았어. And then that's really like plain, and that's it. 알았어.
Okay.
But the recipient might think, is he angry?
Yeah, are they like saying like fine, or are they saying okay?
Yeah. Okay. I'm never gonna talk to you again.
Yeah,
You know,
or
deleting you
okay, sure.
from my context. So yeah, like it might be very lighthearted. So in that case, you want to make sure that your message is delivered in the correct tone. So
That's very common. You'll see that Koreans will add this sort of the tilde, or even like sometimes emoticons or something.
yeah.
To make it really clear that you're not mad.
Yeah, but even here, when you have that, you still wonder.
Could still be, oh, did they just say that because they don't want to look mad, but they're actually mad?
Yeah, so this one, people use this all the time, and the recipient might think, 알았어,
Yeah, fine.
just leave me alone. So to make it absolutely sure that you're not mad, you can say
알았어.
알았어. Like
Yeah.
that.
Something like that, or sometimes people add like a iang at the end, just to be like a little cutesy, like 알았어,
Like that.
Then that's 100% sure it can't be like mean.
Yeah, so this is the incorrect
They
spelling.
could think, oh, maybe they're just trying to be extra nice, so I don't think they're mad. But you're usually pretty safe.
Yeah, so you can say aha, like that. Aha.
Yeah.
Like that.
Just like
Just to drag. So yeah, you'll see this.
Right.
Often.
He often writes these types of messages to me, so that I don't think he's angry at me.
But you just said that we never talk in Korean.
Well, it's so
If you want to be a good liar, you need to be smart.
I'm not a good liar. Okay, I'm a bad liar.
Okay, I hope.
Sometimes the staff, though, I've gotten messages from Talk to Me in Korean staff, and they've sent messages to me. Not in 반말 though, but very polite. And then they'll send like an emoticon or something. Does Talk to Me in Korean have a topic book? Why? When are you going to put out a topic book? So I can study for the topic.
We don't have a topic book. We were initially in the past we were planning to do something for like make our own topic book, but we are not planning to make a topic book anymore.
I know, I can guess the reason. Can I guess the reason?
Yeah.
Because topic expires every like 2 years and it keeps changing every year, so you would have to keep releasing new books.
Not necessarily, but
No? Okay. No. That was my guess.
But because we are planning for, and our books actually help you study for the topic anyway.
That's
So-
true. To actually speak Korean
Yeah.
versus just to get a good grade on a
Yeah.
topic.
So I'm not a huge believer of test prep materials, so I don't think you should be studying solely for
a
the
test, yeah.
test. So you need to improve your Korean. If you have the same amount of limited time, just use that time to the maximum for actually learning to speak the language. And when you're good enough, you will score well.
I actually made a video about, it's not on my channel yet. I filmed a video last week with a friend and who had taken TOPIK and is preparing, and we talked about the pros and cons of TOPIK. And that was one of the things that we talked about, that people, when you prepare for TOPIK, you're actually preparing just for the TOPIK a lot. And getting a good score or bad score doesn't necessarily mean you can or can't speak the language well. So we talked about things like that. But yeah, I would agree that it's it's not necessarily a test of how well your Korean is. It's more, in some ways it is, but it's also just a test of how well you can take that test. So.
Yeah, and by using Billy's books and Billy's courses and also our courses and books, you also see lots of quiz questions and exercises, which are also not unlike the topic tests.
Yeah, if you can speak Korean well, you're not going to do poorly on the TOPIK. I guess we can say that. At least the earlier levels of the TOPIK do correspond with real world speaking.
Yeah, the only thing.
Just read that comment.
Oh, which one?
The one you just pinned. I just like it's colorblind. You'll read it. You read it.
Okay. Yeah. So what I was
We were talking about the TOPIK.
No. Yeah. The
Yes.
only thing that's left for you to do in order to actually make sure that you score high on TOPIK is memorize a lot of vocabulary.
Lots of technical,
vocabulary. Yeah.
high-level vocabulary.
But that's the only thing left. So thank you for your super chat, Tristan. Thank you. Much love from the Philippines. I have always wondered about how parata means both blue and green.
It's colorblindness common. I remember learning that word as well as a few others when I was a beginner, and I was so confused. Like, do Koreans not know what color parata is? And then later, when you learn a lot more of the colors, you realize that just like in English, where we have many color names for the same colors, it's the same in Korean.
Yeah.
And it just depends on the situation, what you're talking about as what you might describe something as. Like, you might say a white wall is eggshell color or white color, but you wouldn't say someone's shirt is eggshell color. That's more of like a paint white color. And then parata might be blue or green depending on what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So like nature types of things.
Yeah, so I would say what I would add to that, while agreeing.
Puruda is also.
Puruda.
Yeah.
Puruda is a good example. Puruda is anything that is like lush, then anything that's green and
Very natureful.
and just think of the nature and
Think of the nature.
Think of the nature. Of course, there's purple, yellow, red, everything. But when you think about the plants, the plant life.
Yeah, it's very like bright greenish.
Yeah. So 푸르다 can be 푸른 하늘, like the blue
Even though,
skies.
even though the sky is obviously not green, it'll be like bright, like bluish,
It's less of a color blindness issue and more of just a category being very general.
Yeah, it's like bright, natural, lush color.
Yeah, and in everyday situations, this is never going to be an issue for Korean speakers because the only exception where the two exceptions you will encounter are like 푸르다 being the bluish color and
say like
the green lush woods and the traffic lights.
Ah, that's true.
파란불.
Yeah, 파란불. So that's why they're talking about. Can parata mean blue and green? It just depends on the context. It's not like you don't have to be confused. Like, oh, do I call this blue or green? Like, no. Just when you're talking about a few, you mentioned it, 2 or 3 specific things.
Yeah.
Other than that, no.
It might be helpful to just remember that when people say 파란불, like about a green light, nobody's actually thinking that it's blue.
Right.
Everybody knows that it's green, but it's just an idiomatic expression.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So we won't be able to answer everything, right?
Yeah. Well, obviously, there's already like 1,000 comments on here.
Are you guys planning to make an app? We actually made our first app recently. I don't know if you saw our tweet. So we invited beta testers.
I didn't get an invite. Why was I not invited to this?
We tweeted
special
it out.
event?
We didn't apply.
I didn't apply. That's the answer.
신청을 안 하셨잖아요.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, so we invited 60 beta testers to test out our new app. It's an app we will talk about very soon in our upcoming announcement. So yeah, we are. So all the other Talk to Me in Korean related apps are all like user-made apps.
Right.
So
it's just like the lessons you have on your website.
yeah.
Pretty
So
much.
nothing is official, but we finally made our first official app, It's not going to be the same as our website?
It's going to be the Hyunwoo dating simulator, I heard.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I have
they
some
didn't tell me
insider
about it.
information. Yeah, that's what the developer told me.
I thought I was taking 50 pictures for the lessons.
No. It was definitely dating apps. You have to be really good at Korean. Then the final goal is you get to go to I guess a cafe and hang out with Hyunwoo.
Okay, yeah.
You get dinner. Yeah.
It's a good thing that they didn't invite you as a beta tester then. You don't want to do that.
No.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you missed the tweet. Don't worry, we'll tweet the app.
When is it releasing? Do you have a date for that yet?
So, within a couple of weeks.
Oh, so really soon. Okay.
Yeah, you'll see it soon.
That's cool.
Yep.
Someday I'll have an app. I don't have any app at all.
Do you have abs?
Abs? No, I don't have abs either,
Okay,
actually,
yeah.
Coincidentally.
I just had to ask you. Okay.
Such a bad joke. Getting so many questions.
Yeah.
I love Korean. What is the path from fluency? Oh, that's a very long topic.
Yeah. So we are not being too picky about the questions, but we just want to try to answer questions that we can answer like very quickly.
Yeah, we're trying to scan all of them though. So if you're saying like short ones like saying thanks and that, we're trying to read all of those though as well. I see Sungwon is watching it.
Sungwon, where?
Right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's the biggest fan of my jokes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
He is.
He's like one of the.
That's why he wanted to work at this company to be closer to you.
Yeah, he wrote this like line at the end like I aspire to be as humorous as you.
You need a kid to do that. You have to become a dad. It's one of the requirements. As soon as you have a kid, you're going to be starting to make jokes like right from the hospital.
Yeah, there's a switch hidden inside your brain, like waiting, and it can only be triggered by a kid.
Yeah, but you have to become an aje.
But
ajashi.
he's already very good. Everybody fears that he's turning into a young me.
That's good.
Him.
You'll need an apprentice to take over your business once you've retired.
Yeah.
So
I feel like Yeji and Seungwon are our other teachers. Yeji and Seungwon are building something like a similar chemistry that I had with that I have still with Kyungwon. The difference is when I, tease Kyungwon in a very nice way, Kyungwon doesn't fight back. Like, she's like, get out.
Yeah. Go.
She pushes me away, but Yeji fights back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's a different kind of. Yeji, she's watching.
Sungwon is already a aje. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
How can I improve my ability to read Korean?
Read Korean if you're talking about recognizing Korean letters and being able to.
I think that's what they're talking about. That's I guess.
Just by practice, I can only say just through practice and saying things out loud. But being able to improve your reading comprehension, it's a different strategy. Yeah.
You simply have to improve your Korean.
Yeah.
And when your Korean gets better, your reading will come with it as well.
Yeah, and you have to do, this is also not something that I developed myself on my own, but you have to do both kinds of reading, intensive reading and extensive reading. You have to read a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, and then sometimes you have to just drill down and focus on like
looking up every word one at a time.
Every single morpheme, to break everything down and see what you are missing. So, yeah. Yeah,
I think as your comprehension gets better, as you know what the word is, then your reading will get faster. Obviously, if you're reading every syllable, it's going to take a long time. But if you know what the word is before you start reading it, then you can say it really fast.
I can't emphasize, thank you, Sandy, for your super chat. I'll highlight it here and get back to your question soon. I can't emphasize enough the importance of reading. So I always tell people, I know personally a lot of people who studied abroad, either English, Spanish, or in China, or learning all these different languages, and they come back and they all show, these are Korean people that I know, they all show different levels of fluency in the language that they spent like 10 years, 20 years speaking.
Okay.
And what causes the difference? And my conclusion is how much they read. Because speaking, if you miss like certain articles here and there, certain words here and there,
People aren't going to correct you.
people aren't going to correct you, and you will never ever realize that you've been saying one particular phrase wrong the whole time, like for 10 years, because people don't, point that out. But when you read, you actually pay attention to everything, and you find something that you were saying, but in a slightly different form. So there's more time to take in the new information. And you have a book called Korean Reading.
Oh yeah, I did one reading book. I
Yeah.
have just one. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
so
took a long time to
Yeah,
make.
just remember that. We have some reading materials too, reading books. And yeah, so read a lot and read extensively and try to go through a lot of different types of text. That's the core differentiator between people who can be so fluent for the rest of their lives and people who slowly lose their fluency.
I'd want to suggest, so people might be hearing like reading, they might think, oh, do I need to buy like Harry Potter in Korean or something like that?
If you can do that and read it.
If you like, I would also suggest find something that you could enjoy reading. It doesn't have to be fiction.
Yeah.
Well, you could read, webtoons.
Yeah.
You could read.
Yeah.
For me, I enjoy reading like grammar explanations and stuff. So if I'm searching on the internet, they'll be written in Korean or occasionally news articles. But find something that you can enjoy reading.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
True. And also, I personally think that you need to also separate reading the subtitles of a show from actual reading, because you are doing so many things at the same time.
That's a different type of thing.
Yeah, you're reading the subtitles, you're enjoying the show, you're picking up vocabulary, but it's too fast. So, and even our BBM chat courses, BBM chat course and BBM chat lessons, the episodes, the conversations, you can study and read the transcript, but still it's going to be a different kind of strategy when you just print out the transcript and read. I recommend that you do both, and we will definitely make more reading materials for learners. So read a lot, please. So anything to add?
No, that's good.
And Sandy,
the
what's
donation
the best
up
way?
there.
Yeah, best way to learn a lot of vocabulary. Reading is one way, and listening to a lot of stuff is one way. But if you want to just memorize a lot, I recommend flashcards.
Yeah, traditional methods work pretty well for that.
Yeah, flashcards, against its nature, flashcards are designed so that you memorize everything in the long term.
Yeah.
But once you stop using them regularly,
Yeah,
the memory is gone. It can go away. Yeah.
That's the tricky thing about vocabulary, is that you can learn a lot of vocabulary, but unless you have some sort of way of using it, or I guess coming into contact with it frequently, it's not going to stick around for too long in your head. So I remember that when I was a beginner, I was trying to learn lots of vocabulary words, but I wasn't yet able to use those vocabulary words yet. I didn't have grammar to use them. So even though I studied them and I could use a flashcard and I could recall them, I wasn't able to put them into any sentences for a long time. Just I didn't have any way I could use it. Like for example, I might learn the word like 통나무 or whatever. Like it's not a hard word, but I had no situation where I could use the word 통나무 in my regular speech.
Which is a log.
Yeah, just a tree log. Like it's not a complicated word, and it's useful to know, but it's not useful as a beginner. It wasn't so useful to me. I didn't know when am I going to say it. So I guess if I'm walking down the forest, I could say, oh, 통나무다, like, oh, it's a log. But you have to find some way that you can use it. So whatever method you're using to learn the vocabulary, that's fine. But make sure that you yourself could possibly use it, and that you're not just trying to cram random words into your head. So like try to make a sentence with it, practice with it, so that it sticks around.
Yeah, vocabulary is like something that still remains after all aspects have been conquered.
That's the last thing that it requires. You have to learn just a ton of it to get good at Korean. I'm still working on that as well. There's a lot of vocabulary words that in Korean that I've like, I don't know what they mean. And unless it's really, like if I know the context completely, I can guess. But there's a lot of words I wasn't really familiar with.
Yeah. It's just, it's never ending. It's like the last castle that you still have to conquer, go over the moat and, you fought a battle.
See, moat, that's like an English word. When are you going to use moat outside of like...
What's moat in Korean? I'm going to look it up. What's moat in Korean?
It's the outside of a cat, but they don't have them in Korea, do they? They wouldn't have like English like castles in Korea with a moat filled with alligators. My house, my apartment does, but to keep out all the fans, right? Moat. I don't even know what that would be.
This is not the spelling.
That's the different moat.
Yeah.
There's also a moat that is like a what do you call a splinter, like a little piece of something.
해자.
해자.
Yeah, have you heard this word before?
해자. I know 해자 like food, like 해자 with 여이. Different, but that's a different word.
Yeah.
해자. What is the 해자? What is the 한자 for that? I don't even know.
Yeah. So anyway.
Okay. Anyway, there is a word, but stuff like that. You have to be able to use it, and you can use it. You can use it in a sentence. Otherwise, just memorizing it won't really let you use it. So 해자. Okay. I learned a new word today.
I don't think it's an actual word that everybody will know. Just say 성 주변에.
성 주변에 있는 그 성 주변에.
Yeah.
호수? 못?
Yeah, 못.
Yeah. Like a 못 would be that kind of.
Yeah.
Like a moat.
Oh.
When you said moat, the first word that came into my head actually was like 연못 or something.
연못.
But I'm like, that can't be right.
연못 is a pond.
Yeah, that's different.
Also lotus flower.
Yeah, that's like the
연꽃.
traditional style of.
But we digress.
Okay, we learned that the word moat is kind of like the word moat.
Wow.
Well, I'm never gonna forget that now, and I'm gonna connect it though with 해자.
Yeah, I'm sure it didn't come from.
No, I'm sure it's not from English.
But there's a word that many people don't know came from English.
Really, what's that?
깡패.
깡패. How did it come from English?
갱패.
갱패.
Yeah,
like a group or something like.
Yeah, it came from gang.
깡패. Oh wow, that's really interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a weird tangent that we just went off of. The other normally though, when I hear moat, of course I would think of nail, but I guess with this context, it's different moat. It's not the moat for nail. Okay.
Here a vocabulary question. Accounting manager, assistant supervisor. Wow.
계좌 관리자. I don't know. How would you say that? Accounting, but no, that's accounting. So the 회계 뭐 I don't know.
I'm looking it up because I never have to say it. Yeah.
Accounting manager. Let's see. 경리부장.
경리부장.
Okay.
Yeah, you can
경리부장.
say.
Yeah.
경리부장.
경리 would be like the
accounting
department.
Department. 경리부장.
And then 장 is like the leader of that. So.
Yeah, that's one way. But just like with English, I think, or more so in Korean, the official job titles can be so different.
Yeah, it'll depend on the job and the company. They might say, "Oh, this is our 경리부장," and another person might say, "Oh, this is a different title," or "This is just." They might just say 사장님 or 사장 or whatever.
Usually, it's introduced in a way that 과장. So 과장 is the lowest,
you're like the team leader or something like that.
Team leader, and then 과장, below 과장 there's 대리. So
like
대리,
supervisor kind of thing.
Yeah, so 대리 is when you say 대리 기사, it's your driver.
Yeah,
like
the drivers that will drive for you if you're not able to drive yourself.
Yeah, so when you're under the influence.
Yes.
So 대리 운전, like instead substitute driver for you that you hire for the hour, that will drive your car with you inside. Back home. So 대리 is like deputy, like somebody that will do for you. So 과장, 대리 originally, like 과장 is the small team leader, and then if that
the 대리 would be the assistant,
the deputy,
I guess.
Like if that person is not in the office,
substitute then.
So they just omit the 과장 part and they say 대리.
Okay.
So 사원 is everybody who doesn't have any title. It's like
Just
a
company employee or whatever.
yeah, employee, and then you go up to 대리, and then you go up to usually 차장,
Okay.
and then 부장, and maybe 상무, or like
So
이사,
it depends on how
Yeah.
the hierarchy of the company is.
대표, like something like that.
대표, yeah, the representative of the company.
Yeah, but this is often the way it is like introduced. But in some places, 과장 can be higher than 부장.
Yeah, it depends how they structure their
Yeah.
company.
In the
And I don't understand this stuff very
Yeah,
well.
so-
I know like the basic meanings of them, but I don't know exactly which one would be in each company.
yeah, so I'm gonna move it out of your
Okay.
face. So
So polite, thank you.
yeah, so in Korean local governments,
Mm-hmm.
local like Seoul 시청 at the city hall, I know 과장 is like really high.
Okay.
So 시장, 과장 because they have these 과 like
They would have a really large department of people so
Yeah.
that in that case it would be a really high
so,
position.
yeah. So the reason that we say this is that it's all different depending on the organization.
And anyone looking at this and being like, wow, that's so complicated, you don't have to memorize this right now. In the future, when you get a job at a Korean company, look up these words, come back to this live stream, watch it again, and you can kind of memorize these words, and that'll help you. But you don't have to learn these for regular day-to-day life. If you go to a store and you're wondering, what do I call the person at the restaurant? Just say boss, 사장님.
사장님.
You're good with that.
Yeah.
If you're actually entering into a company, then you'll need to learn the terms to call each person.
Yep.
But other than that, yeah, these will not come in use if you're just traveling in Korea. Yeah.
Okay, one last question before we go. Thank you so much for the questions, and sorry about the fact that we cannot get to every single question, but this one is very
하긴.
interesting and a good, useful expression. 하긴.
하긴.
So can you explain this phrase 하긴, and we'll explain it, and we'll maybe answer some some greetings, and then call it a day.
Yeah,
Because-
하긴 is like it's not so much. I wouldn't say it's a grammar. It is really just an expression, as it is, and it would be when you are kind of realizing something is correct. You're like 하긴. You're like, I guess you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It is a
하긴.
certain way like that. I'm trying to think if we have a way that we would say this in English.
So a situation, for example, as an example, you want to go eat something.
Okay.
Maybe you want to eat fried chicken.
Oh, that sounds good.
치킨 먹고
Chicken
싶어요.
was yesterday, chicken day. Did you eat chicken?
중복?
Yeah, did you eat chicken?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah. Yes. I didn't know it was.
You didn't
중복.
really, you just naturally.
No, my
you're-
wife prepared samgyetang.
Samgyetang,
at
yeah,
home, And I never asked her why, but yeah.
It's it's like what would it be like summer? What is it?
So 3 points of summer heat. Not necessarily the 3 hot days, but just 3 markers.
Period of
Yeah.
the summer, and this is like one of them.
Yeah, 초복, 중복, 말복.
Yeah, so the beginning, the middle, and the end of the hot summer days.
Yeah. So again, 하긴. we have to focus.
Sorry, back. We were talking about chicken and getting
Yeah.
distracted
By the way,
chicken.
중복. If you say 중복 in a different context, it means duplicate.
Like
중복됐습니다.
Yeah.
중복된 질문입니다. Like it's a
repeat, copy
repeat,
question,
yeah.
duplicate.
Okay, so
So yes, 하긴, yes. So,
so
you're
I
giving a
say
situation, so I want to eat chicken or
chicken,
something.
and I say not again, and blah blah blah, and then I say something like you eat too much chicken, and
I
you
say 하긴.
하긴 그렇지.
Yeah, 그렇죠. 뭐.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, I guess you're right. I do.
I understand. I admit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good say. When you're admitting something, you're like, yeah, you're
하긴.
right. Yeah.
So you can say 하긴 or 하긴 그래, and then you can also say 하긴 그래요. 하긴 그래요.
And you can also finish this with any other expression you want. You can say, well, 하긴 치킨을 많이 먹긴 하죠.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. We do eat a lot of chicken, or whatever you want to say after that. But to keep it simple, just 하긴 그래, 하긴
okay.
그래요 is okay as well.
Yeah, you can't say 하긴요.
No.
You can't say that. You have to add 하긴 그래요.
Yeah, 하긴 would just be used at as the beginning of a sentence when you're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And-
that sort of feeling.
Yeah, and an easier way to put it is think of it as 그렇기는 해요.
Yeah, it is. That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does make sense. It is correct. Okay. So thank you so much for all the.
We got a lot of questions. We only did like a small handful of them. There's so many questions we got today.
And thank you. We have to go. I don't want to keep him here forever.
Yeah, I actually have nothing to do all day today. This is all my plans today. We're just here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was hoping that you would leave so I can actually get the work done.
Hopefully you'll leave. Get out of here, Billy.
Like you
Yeah.
have a point.
No, it was great. Yeah, you have a point could work as well.
We missed the super chat.
Did we?
Did we?
Oh, Tanya.
Tanya.
Thank you both for all you do. I'm studying from both in the Bangtan Academy. Okay. Will there be a version of Hangul Attack for Chromebook? Unfortunately, no, because this is like a technical thing, but the engine I'm using to develop it, so like the coding that I'm using for it, as far as I know, doesn't support Chrome OS. But I have to check. If they do, then I could always release a new version. But the version I'm using only allows like Windows and Mac and Linux. So yeah. That's the Hangul typing game that I did.
Yeah.
So I did an update to that a few months ago.
I have yet to use it.
You don't need to practice your Korean. You can type very fast, I'm sure.
But just
for fun.
Just to be able to complain about it.
Billy, I found all these
will.
bugs.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. And 감사합니다.
Yes.
그리고 빌리 선생님도 hopefully this is our last time to see each other.
So nice. I'm not coming here anymore.
Before you go back to the States.
Now I am going back to the States.
No, I mean hopefully this is not the last time this year that we collaborate.
Yes. Yeah, hopefully, although I am going back to the States after a couple weeks, I'm planning on coming back to Korea again in November and maybe next year in spring and summer. Since I'm planning on coming to Korea more often now than usual.
Yeah. And I'm so excited that we have like hundreds of witnesses that for the flight arrangement deal.
Oh yes.
Yeah, between Billy and me. First class or business class?
Yeah, about that.
Your choice.
I don't remember saying that. I don't think we actually talked about this. The list live is not going to be saved, right?
It has already been saved, I think. So
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for coming.
그러면 저는 여기에서 I'll press the end live button if I can find it.
그럼
다음에 또 봐.
다음에 또 봐.
Bye.
Nice.